Right now, somewhere in the world, there is a tech company that's training an AI model to do your exact job, but faster, cheaper, and without ever needing a sick day. And it doesn't matter if you're an accountant, if you're a software engineer, a copywriter, a doctor, or even a professional athlete like I was. AI is likely coming for your paycheck, or it's likely coming in a way to make your work less critical. So most people right now, they're terrified of this, but they're asking the wrong question, in my opinion. They're asking, how do I save my job? The question you should be asking is, if your paycheck disappears tomorrow, what do you actually own? What other streams of income do I have? If your entire life is funded by a W-2 income, when that income goes to zero, what do you have left? What are you going to do now? So today I'm going to show you why your single paycheck is the most fragile thing in your life right now, and why AI is about to trigger the greatest wealth divide in human history, and what the best move is against that. So let's get to the video. So you guys, I just want to say one thing real quick. Your paycheck, it's not wealth, right? It's active trade. It's active income. And like me, when my active income as an athlete stopped, my income stopped. And when that trade stops, you're exposed, right? So the divide, it won't be between rich and poor. It's going to be between people who own assets and people who compete with algorithms. That's really what's coming. And so when I was a professional snowboarder, I realized pretty early on that just a single injury, that could wipe out income overnight. I was just at an event down in Phoenix, Arizona called PAC, Professional Athlete Community. Look it up, a phenomenal group. And I talked to 35 professional athletes that were either in their career or heading to the end of their career or retired. And the common denominator every one of these athletes shared with me that is in their career is that when they had an injury, when they missed a few games, immediately they were thinking, is this the beginning of the end? Am I going to walk in and get cut? And so that's a very fragile, scary place to be. And if you have an income that's reliant on one source, one job, one employer, one boss who decides yes or no, I think that's a very fragile place to be. And I don't want to be there. I'd rather be in a place where I have many streams of income, many sources of income. If you could choose, I'm going to have one income source as a professional athlete, and I'm going to focus 100% on that, or I could have my athletic income along with many sources of investment income. I'm going to choose many sources of investment income all day. So that's the part I wanted to bring to your attention, especially when you throw AI into the mix, how volatile and how much instability comes into a market. So I want to talk about the illusion of safety, you guys, right? You know, this is why a software engineer who's making $250K a year with no hard assets is actually in a much more dangerous financial position than they might realize right now. Because an engineer software, guy that's making good money, he may not be relevant in 5 years. And now your $250K a year that's now moved over to AI can be done for far cheaper, no paid time off, no human being pushback. Very, very efficient for a business owner to remove that human being. So if you're surviving, or your source of survival is a bi-weekly direct deposit, what happens to your family the day an AI software replaces that department? That's the part that you'd want to get ahead of, that I want to get ahead of, that I'd be wanting to get ahead of in order to create many streams of income. So that's what this is about, you guys. And there's an economic law here. When technology makes digital things like code or writing or data analysis abundant and cheap, physical and scarce things, they become exponentially more valuable, right? You cannot code a roof, right? ChatGPT cannot fix a plumbing leak. Humans are physical creatures. No matter how advanced the metaverse or AI gets, people will always need a physical bed to sleep in. Another piece, you guys, is that as AI evolves, it destroys the value of digital labor, but it magnifies the value of hard or physical assets. So real estate is the ultimate hedge against technology because it's rooted in basic human survival. Most of what I just covered, people never hear from their financial advisor, not because it's a secret, but because most advisors don't think in terms of structure. They think in terms of returns. So I put together a free blueprint that walks through exactly how high earners are legally reducing their tax bill by 15 to 20% using real estate, using the actual frameworks I use, the 3 tax buckets where your money is probably stuck right now, and what it looks like when you move it into the right structure. It's free. Links in the description. I want to explain a concept, you guys, that's maybe not heard of yet, but it's called digital abundance versus physical scarcity. And that's when AI, makes digital tasks virtually free. I'm talking like digital labor, right? White collar jobs. And what happens here is these folks no longer have their income sources. So their income gets destroyed or gets wiped out relatively quickly. That's where real assets, real cash flow can help offset that pain. And so if I'm in the world right now where I can see AI is coming for my job, right? Attorneys, CPAs, I would assume that with the way AI is progressing, whether it comes or it doesn't come, I'm going to take the stance, if I'm in those careers, that my career won't be around for the next decade or two. So now what can you be doing while you still have income, while you still have the job, while you still have this source of wealth, to start to create other ways so that if, let's just say it doesn't happen, but if it does, or when it does, now it's not that big of a painful moment in my life. I can tell you right now, the one biggest thing I did, and I'm so grateful I did, was I got ahead of my snowboarding career ending. I had many streams of income when I got the call from my brand saying you're fired. And because I had those other streams of income, it made the transition pretty easy. It was expected almost. I was ready for it, and it didn't have a huge dip in my life like I saw so many athletes go through before me. And so why is commercial multifamily real estate specifically the ultimate insurance policy against an economy that is being rapidly automated? And it's purely because real estate can't be automated. How are you going to go automate adding value in an apartment? How are you going to use AI to build apartments? Maybe you have robots someday, right? But we're talking far off in the future, right? You hear Elon Musk talk about how we're going to have robots running the world within a decade or two. Well, so far, I appreciate that perspective, but it seems to me like everything he's claimed has been much further out than expected. He might have an idea of how quickly it's going to happen, but you're telling me right now that we're going to have robots building and running the world within a decade? I just don't see how it's going to happen that quickly. Is it going to happen in 2 decades? Who knows, right? Let's just think in the next 10-year period. We know AI is increasing its ability to handle the thinking work, the labor of how do I handle these contracts with my attorney? How do I handle my CPA work? How do I handle the models? That stuff is scary. Yeah, that stuff could get wiped out sooner than in a decade, right? No question about that. So those are the types of labor markets that I'd be saying, hey, I need to get ahead. I need to start creating multiple streams of income. The mission you guys have is you got to build an asset bridge while you still have the paycheck. I'm sounding like a broken record here, but use the dying W-2 income to buy the permanent physical assets. It's that simple. Don't wait until you're laid off. Like, I was smart in the sense that and I'm grateful that I didn't wait until I got fired to start investing as a snowboarder. I started investing many years before. And so when I got fired, it wasn't that big a deal. And I can tell you guys right now that banks love you when there's income. And I can tell you for sure that banks will not lend to you, and they will not be a part of giving capital to you to invest passively and be a part of giving capital for you to buy assets when you don't have income. That's another thing that you're going to want to get ahead of, is to be able to replace your active income with passive real estate cash flow, so that when AI takes your job, you don't even care. It doesn't change your lifestyle. It doesn't cause you stress and strain. In fact, you're more excited about the direction you're going with creating many streams of passive income than you were about your previous job. So from my perspective, you have this window of time right now. Don't blow it. Get busy. Use your current paycheck to buy your freedom before the paycheck disappears, right? Don't fight AI. Let AI do its job. Let it do its thing, but make sure that you own apartment buildings or passive investment assets that AI cannot affect. I got the question the other day, if I'm a 35-year-old tech worker and I'm watching this right now and I realize that my job might be gone in 5 years, what is the exact first step that I take with my current salary? And I talk about this all the time, you guys. It's the same thing I say over and over again. Create a gap between your income and expenses and make it as large as possible. Adjust your lifestyle if you need to, and stack away capital to invest. And while you're stacking the capital away to invest, educate yourself on how to take my capital and start to create streams of income without me working. How do I put this capital to work in an efficient manner to start to pay me whether I work or don't work? If I sleep, if I go on vacation, I made money. That's the way you got to be thinking. And the better you become at that, the more efficient you become at that, stacking higher income, reducing expenses, delaying gratification for a 3, 5, 7, 10-year period, right? If you got a 5-year window and you can see it's coming, like I did, I literally started investing in 2012. And by 2018, 2019, my snowboarding career was almost zero. So I had a 5-year runway. And that's exactly what I did and created many streams of income. Snowboarding career comes. I still remember the phone call like yesterday, right? It sounded like someone died on the other end of the line, letting me know that my career was over with Volcom, which was my main sponsor. I still was sad. I still cried a little bit, but as far as financially went, it didn't hurt. So that's how you bridge. You use asset as the bridge. And how does an investor take a chunk of their W-2 income today? And then how can you use Granite Towers to replace their salary through passive cash flow? Get to know us, reach out. We might be the right fit for you. We might not, but there's no risk in having a 30 to 45 minute call to better understand, hey, here's my situation. Here's what you guys do. Is there synergy for alignment here? Can they help create streams of income? Can they force appreciation to exponentially make my capital grow? Can they get me depreciation? And within 30 minutes, we'll know, hey, this is a good fit. And if it's not, we'll let you know. If it's not, hopefully I know somebody or we know someone on our team that could help you, right? You're not going to lose anything by having a 30-minute call. So the danger of waiting, danger of sitting around to see how bad it is, to see how quickly AI grows, that's something you don't want to do. Like, I'm so grateful I didn't wait around for the phone call letting me know I'm fired, letting me know that my career is now over. Like, to do work now, to get ahead of it now, it's an insurance policy to freedom in the future, and we have some pushback, right? One of the pushback points is that AI isn't destroying money, it's moving it. AI won't vaporize money, it concentrates it into a specific tech hub where we buy, right? So AI is not going to destroy money. Yeah, money might change. Is it going to be a dollar? Is it going to be crypto? Is it going to be gold and silver? That form of capital will likely change in our lifetime. Let's just talk about that real fast. Every single currency, which is the dollar, in the history of the world, going back hundreds of years into empires and people that were running the world, that all changed. It all changes. So when will that happen? Who knows? But won't change in value is things that are real. There's still real value in food at a grocery store, in real estate, keeping you safe and warm. You got government bailouts, right? This is a piece of that can be pushback. If mass unemployment hits, the government prints stimulus. UBI, which is universal basic income, which goes straight to basic survival rent, right? So let's just say people are saying, well, if once AI comes in, all jobs are going to be gone. There will be no more income by anybody. Well, if that's the case, what is going to happen for every human being that doesn't have a job? You think the government's just going to be like, oh, hey, everyone's going to live on the street? I don't think so. I think they're going to step in with what they can. Will it be the dollar? Will it be a currency? Will it be crypto? I don't know. But what I'm certain of is that there will need to be some sort of restructuring, or you will have a complete collapse of society. And if you're going to have a complete collapse of society, where do you go with that? Right? So that's a doomsday way of thinking. In my opinion, don't go to a doomsday way of thinking. It makes you freeze. It makes you start to create that. Figure out how you can position yourself each year by staying in the loop, by paying attention, by staying connected to groups like us that are on the cutting edge and are learning with the billionaires of what's coming. And how do you get ahead of that? That's the best way, from my perspective, to move through this challenge, this change, which the only constant in life is change. How do you move through this change with AI efficiently and safely? And that's with connecting with groups just like us. If you want to learn more about what we do and you want to see if the assets we're buying can create cash flow, force appreciation and depreciation for you, reach out, click the link below.